If we want to solve the problem of gun violence in America, we must also work at the cultural level to make violence itself as unacceptable on the political left as it has long been on the political right. Bad culture, brought about mostly by leftists and by leftist politics, is a hugely important root cause of the problem. The ranks of those who commit violence of any kind, but particularly gun violence, are not overrun with right-wing core constituencies. This is Dr. Avenir. The gun crime problem in America isn't due to a lack of gun control. It's because of a lack of Democrat control. We said that all you have to do is make sure that Democrat Party members, voters, and supporters don't have any guns, and you'll nearly eliminate gun crime almost completely overnight. All you need to do in your gun purchase background check is something like show the person a picture of the Democrat and Republican candidates for president and ask the purchaser, the would-be purchaser, whom he supports. If the guy indicates the Democrat, well then deny the purchase. The point, the demographic composed of, quote, people who commit crime, especially gun crime, end quote, is not overrun with any Republican core constituencies, and there are certainly, obviously, very few, if any, conservatives in those ranks. Here's a little thought exercise to illustrate the point and add an important datum to the understanding of gun crime, or really of crime overall. Hypothesize with me for a moment. A genie comes down and manages to speak to all Americans at once, and here's what he says, quote, everyone, I have confiscated all your guns as of this moment. To get your guns back, you must fill out this questionnaire, end quote. Poof! Into everyone's hands, a sheet of paper appears. This is a genie, after all. The piece of paper contains instructions on how to fill out the questionnaire online. The questionnaire asks each person to check a yes or no box in response to a series of questions on the issues of the day. Things like, do you favor abortion rights? Should taxes be higher on the rich? Do you believe in global warming? Should we do more to fight climate change? Respondents must answer all questions, even the ones they don't understand. If they don't understand it, they must guess at their response. At the end of the questionnaire, you should have a gauge of the respondents' political sympathies, whether or not they're at all informed on the world around them and how they feel about those things in the world around them. If the genie then returns the guns only to those respondents whose results show them to be on the rightmost 2/3 of the entire political spectrum, what do you think would happen to gun crime? What do you think would happen to crime in general? It's kind of important to answer the question too. The obvious conclusion seems to be that if you remove all the guns from the leftmost third of the political spectrum, you'd dramatically reduce gun crime. Nope, that's not it. First of all, in removing the guns from the leftmost third of the political spectrum, you'd 1. Remove well more than 90% of all guns, and 2. You'd remove guns from probably 99%, not 33%, but 99% of those who would commit violence with those guns. The two most common characteristics, by far, of America's prison population are, number 1, raised in a single-mother household, and number 2, tattoos. I'd venture to wager a lot of money that a third common characteristic, more common even than the other two, is left-wing political sympathies. Oh, don't hit me with most inmates don't have any political sympathies at all. That's hogwash. If they've accepted welfare payments without questioning where it all came from, or they think they're entitled to what others have earned, if they think that, quote, the man, end quote, is out to screw them, so they should be able to screw him beforehand, and so forth, then the guy's a default leftist. He may not vote, he may be dumb as a stump, and he might not do overtly political things, but he's a leftist for sure. As I've mentioned many times before, the left, or their political wing, the Democratic Party, own the stupid vote, let's face it. Converse casually with an inmate for a bit, and you'll see that he generally ticks all the other leftist checkboxes as well. He's pro-abortion, pro-taxing the rich, but not him, pro-drug legalization, pro-pretty much everything leftist. This guy, you and I both know it, is a leaf floating down the leftist zeitgeist stream, not challenging anything whatsoever in that stream's intellectual trajectory. As we've mentioned here more than once, quote, the facts of life are conservative, but society's white noise is overwhelmingly leftist, end quote. Conservative thinking is simply more advanced thinking. I've pointed that out many times, and I've provided ample support for the conclusion. More advanced thinking leads to less crime overall, and obviously less gun crime. If you really want to stop gun crime, then contribute to the advance of conservative thinking in America. Simple as that. Oh, and deny guns to Democrat Party voters and supporters. Obviously, some of this is tongue-in-cheek. In fact, most of it is tongue-in-cheek. Democrat voters and Democrat supporters need to have the ability to defend themselves as well using firearms, because that's what the Second Amendment says. The real way to solve gun crime is to work at the cultural level, and it has to be admitted, it has to be recognized, It has to be understood that a significant component of the culture of leftist thinking is violence. Violence is an important part of leftist thinking. Many leftist thinkers believe that violence is justified if it brings about the takeover of power by the political left. If you want to solve gun violence, gun crime in the United States of America, it's very, very simple. Work at the cultural level to make violence as unacceptable on the political left as it has long been on the political right. It's every bit as simple as that.